I love autumn. Hello everybody, it's Josie here. I'm clearly very excited because, you know, it is autumn. It is my favourite season. I love all the beautiful colours on the plants and the trees. I love the turning of the seasons. And I love the fact that it is October. And October, of course, means Halloween, although it's pretty much Halloween in my head all year round. But it's legitimately okay to wear Dracula t-shirts, horns, be spooky, read lots and lots of spooky, wonderful books, just an excuse to read more spookiness, and just enjoy the season and enjoy Halloween. And one of my other favourite parts of October is the Sbooktober Readathon is happening, and I love it. So the Sbooktober Readathon, it starts on the 1st, today, and it runs through to the end of the month. And it is hosted by Vanessa at Paper Fairy, and there's also, I think there's 13 hosts, but I'll link her announcement video down below. It's really, really cool. It spans the platform, so here on YouTube, people are doing, you know, like announcement videos and TBR videos, which I'm loving. On Instagram, there's going to be 13 photo challenges as well, and I think they're also on Twitter, and then there's some movie nights as well, and it's just really fun way to celebrate autumn and Halloween and sort of the spooky season. As you can see, I've kind of started to decorate. I mean, this is kind of all year round, but I've added more pumpkins and stuff, and it'll get more elaborate. I also thought for today's video, so today what I'm doing is I'm doing my TBR. So there are challenges. This year's theme is a Halloween party, which is really cool. So there's challenges related to that, and I will be talking about what I'm planning to read. I'll be honest, I haven't been great with TBRs, that's why I haven't been filming them, because I tend to be more of a mood whim reader at the moment. Whatever I sort of see or I feel like, I pick up. But I'm going to try and stick to these prompts and these particular books. I've also bought my mug. So my coffee is in my Halloween mug today. And I've also brought, because, you know, it's Halloween and it's treat season, trick or treat, and this is one of my favorite treats. So I think this is a really goth candy. Licorice, but this is not any old licorice. This is salted licorice. I first ate salted licorice when I was in Amsterdam, and I love it. I mean, I love normal licorice, but this is an acquired taste. You either love it or you hate it, but I found this one. This is actually Finnish, and what is so cool about this one, this is so Halloween, and it's so goth, but I don't know if you can see that. Oh, is the camera picking that up? Those are little skulls. So I've got my goth skull candy in case I get hungry. Anyway, without further ado, let's go through my TBR for the Sbooktober Readathon. So, like I said, it's Halloween party themed, and the first prompt is dance floor playlist, and there's a bunch of songs. Because I can't just pick one, I've kind of picked two, and I'll probably read both books because I'm really excited to get to both of them. So the first one is I Put a Spell on You, a book with magic. And I have just bought this exquisite book. I think it's beautiful. This is Naomi Novak's brand new release, and it's called A Deadly Education. And this is a book set at a magic school, but you know, it sounds really kind of evil and horrible and not cutesy, and I love it, and I think this is the first in a series, so I'll read you what it says. So it says, enter a school of magic unlike any you've ever encountered. There are no teachers, no holidays, friendships are purely strategic, and the odds of survival are never equal. Once you're inside, there are only two ways out. You graduate or you die. And I think that sounds amazing. Also, how beautiful is this? Yeah, this sounds great. It reminds me of, I read a book a while ago called Killing November. And that book was about an assassin school, and it was the same kind of thing. Like, friendships were really strategic. You didn't really know who your friends were, and they just pretty much killed each other a lot of the time. So I think this sounds like that, and I really like that book, but with magic, which is just right up my alley. So I'm really looking forward to reading that. And then the other prompt was, one of the other prompts was Monster Mash, which I love, and it's read a book with monsters. So I've got this one. This is A Cosmology of Monsters by Sean Hamill, and this is gorgeous. So this is about a family that is apparently haunted by monsters, and kind of their kids discovering it. So it says, Noah Turner's family is haunted by monsters that are all too real. His bookish mother, Margaret, which I love, Lovecraft-loving father, Harry, and sister Sydney, born from the spotlight, and the brilliant but awkward Eunice, a natural writer and storyteller, almost face the demons alone. And I think he kind of goes to sort of uncover what is actually happening in his family. But what I love about this is you have all these kind of diverse characters. They're all kind of characters that I want to be friends with, judging by their interests. And it's kind of like, it's what it sounds to me like a family saga mixed in with a horror and with some supernatural. And I just think that sounds great. And I love the cover of this. So really looking forward to that. Then the next prompt is festivities. And the one that I picked for Halloween festivities is carve a jack-o'-lantern. So that prompt is to read that prompt is to read a book with a face on the cover, obviously the jack-o'-lantern. So the book that I've picked is one that I'm going to put this in a thrift haul, but I've just got this from a thrift store and I'm really excited to read it. So it's The Repossession by Sam Hawksmoor. And how cool is that kind of shattered face cover? So that obviously fits the prompt. And this just sounded so very good. So this sounds like a cross between a thriller and a horror book and a possession story. So it says, 34 kids are missing, vanished without a trace. They never write, they never call, parents are frantic. 6 weeks, 4 days, 16 hours and 20 minutes since the bedroom door locked and Jeannie McGee, and she's possessed, says her mother. The devil wants her for his bride. All Jeannie's hopes, all her life and her soul are pinned on beautiful Rianne. Rianne loves her. He'll rescue her from this madness, won't he? You're next, the face on the wall tells her. By morning, Jeannie realises she'll be missing too. That sounds so cool. It sounds like I said, a thriller. There's possession going on. There's the devil. This just sounds really, really good. So looking forward to that. Then the next one is Costume Party. And I picked scary costume because, any excuse for a scary costume. And that prompt is to read a horror book. So the one that I've picked is this one over here. This is The Lesser Dead by Christopher Buhlman. And I have to say, I saw this cover and I was like, I must read it. Would also actually work probably for the previous prompt because it has a face on the cover. But then I kind of read what this was about and it just sounds so cool. So it's set in the 1970s in New York City, which is wonderful. I think it's 78, yeah. And it is a vampire, so it's a vampire story. And he's kind of like sounds like a punk rock vampire. It says about being in the dirty, like, underbelly of the city. And then there's these other sort of vampires that come along and he kind of describes them as sort of the lesser vampires, hence the lesser dead. And it just sounds like there might be a bit of a battle between these different vampire factions. It just sounds really, really cool. It's one of those books that's been on my radar to read for sort of ages. And I got around to buying it and now I'm super keen to read it because anything with vampires. So the final prompt is refreshments. See what I did there? So for refreshments, I picked a black cover. So again, because I can't decide, I have two books with black covers that I'm really looking forward to reading. So we'll see if I read both or one. So the first one here is Hydra by Matt Wesolowski. So bad. So what this is I read Six Voices. And Six Voices was this wonderful thriller kind of around a podcast, and you're finding out what happened to these kids, one who went missing at a summer camp. And you kind of have these interviews in this podcast style. Now, what Matt has done is he's written basically a whole series based around this premise. Each book is a standalone story, but it's based around this Six Voices podcast. And this one is Hydra. So it says, a family massacre, a deluded murderess, 5 witnesses, 6 stories. Which one is true? Sounds good. So this is more kind of in a thriller vein, but I love like killer, thriller, serial killer, twisted kind of books. So that sounds amazing. So I might do that for black cover. But the other one that I have for black cover is Goth. So this is Otsuchi. And I have had this on my TBR for ages. So many people have said it's amazing. I just keep not getting around to it. I just love this cover. So I'm definitely getting around to it in December. I don't know if it's going to be for this particular prompt, but again, you've got a black cover. And this is sort of a little bit similar to Hydra in the way that this is about two teenagers who are obsessed with killers. And I believe it's murders and serial killers. Yeah, serial killers. And they're kind of like investigating, and it's supposed to be quite kind of dark and a little bit gory. So, yeah, I definitely, this is the season to read it, right? If you're not going to read this in October, when are you going to read it? So it basically says, yeah, Marina is the strangest girl in school. How could she not be, given her obsession with brutal murderers? And there are plenty of murderers to grow obsessed with, as the town in which she lives is a magnet for serial killers. Sounds fantastic. So, yeah, so that might be my other book for black cover. And that, my friends, is it. I am going to have a piece of licorice now. It's very salty. Sit down and start reading these books. Have a wonderful October. Thank you all for watching. Let me know if you've read any of those books. And what you thought of them, or if you have any recommendations. And keep well and safe. Enjoy your reading. Enjoy your October. Happy early Halloween. Bye.